like to call to order the Tuesday, November 18 meeting. And we'll have the invocations by Jeff Van Buren, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saint. Is he here? Okay, please, sir.
And city. We express gratitude for the rain and the cleansing and renewing blessings it provides. Notwithstanding the challenges that it may pose to some, we pray for thy blessings for those in need. We express gratitude for our public servants and city workers and ask thy protection, wisdom, leadership to be upon them, and that thou would bless our citizens, neighbors, and neighborhoods, our local businesses, and all those who come in the borders of our city, that they may be encouraged, strengthened in building stronger communities. And we ask these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, sir. And our Vice Mayor Jim Cunningham will do the salute to the flag, please.
Please place your right hand over your heart or at salute if an honored veteran. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Mr. City Clerk, would you please do roll call?
Councilmember Constantine?
Here.
Councilmember Grandis?
Here.
Councilmember Harbour?
Here.
Vice Mayor, Vice Chair Canine?
Here.
Mayor Chair Bowie?
Here.
All members are present.
Thank you. Mr. City Attorney, is there any reportable actions from closed session?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, Council voted 5-0 for the City Attorney's Office to initiate a weapons petition.
Thank you. Mr. City Clerk, once again, is there any request to speak on is there any supplemental communication?
We have none.
Thank you. City Manager Maggie Lee, would you please give your update?
Yes. Thank you, Mayor and City Council. As a reminder to our citizens, the City of Fountain Valley is accepting application from volunteers to participate in committees, commissions, and boards. Appointments is for 2-year terms unless otherwise stated. Candidates for appointment must be resident of Fountain Valley and 18 years of age or older. The deadline for the application submission to the City Clerk is 6 p.m. on December 18th. Applications are available at the City Clerk's office located at 10200 Slater Avenue, which is this location. And it's also available online at fountainvalley.gov. For more information, visit the City Clerk's office or contact Rick Miller, our City Clerk, right over here. And his phone number is 714-593-4445 or rick.miller@fountainvalley.gov. There are positions available with the Planning Commission. The Planning Commission meets at second Wednesday of the month at 6 p.m. in this council chambers. There are 4 positions, 3 full-term and 1 alternate. We have the Fountain Valley Community Foundation, which meets on the 3rd Thursday of every month at 5:30 p.m. at the Senior Center Conference Room. There are 2 seats up for appointment through the city, but then there's also 2 seats up through the Fountain Valley Community Foundation as well. Fountain Valley Housing and Community Development Advisory Board meets on the 1st Wednesday of the month at 6 p.m. in here at the council chamber, and there are 2 seats up for appointment. Advisory Committee for Person with Disability, they meet on the 1st Thursday of the odd number month at 6:30 p.m. at the Senior Center at Founders Village at Bouchard and Talbot, and there is no limit to this committee. We also have the Measure HH Oversight Committee. The meetings are called as needed. The seats that will be available in January 2026 are business member, active residents, active resident senior and alternate, which is a 1-year term. That is for our vacancy. And then just to remind the community again, it's that time of year the Fountain Valley Fire Department will once again be supporting the 33rd Annual Spark of Love Toy Drive. We have boxes available for donation at Fountain Valley City Hall, the Fountain Valley Recreation Center at 16400 Brooker Street, the Fountain Valley Fire Station number 1, 17737 Burchard Street, right across from the Fountain Valley High School. We have Fountain Valley Fire Station number 2, 16767 New Hope Street, which is diagonal from Los Amigos High School. We have the Senior Center at 7967 Burchard Street. So for more information, please contact our Deputy Fire Marshal Tang Nguyen at 714-593-4430. And you can also email Tang at tang.nguyen, N-G-U-Y-E-N, at fountainvalley.gov, or you can visit 2025 Spark of Love Toy Drive event. And I wanted to go ahead and close. I want to thank personally, I want personally to congratulate our Los Amigos High School lady volleyball team for the league championship. As alumni, I'm proud of your hard work. Go Lobos. That concludes.
All right, great. Thank you so much for your updates. Okay, let's go into the holiday spirit and join us for holidays home decorating contest. Please register and submit by December 1st. Contestants will be sent an email to inform them of the date range for judging to ensure that they have their decorations up and running. So the top 3, each category will be awarded. And I don't know what they are because they don't put it here. So you will be awarded. So hang on to your seat. These are the theme that we're looking for. So most creative theme, create a display of characters from your favorite holidays movie, TV special, or story. Holidays highlight, recognizing house with amazing lights and light productions. Another theme is showstopper, jaw-dropping, over-the-top display that can't be missed. Winter Wonderland decorations that transport the viewer into a magical snowing setting. And then the judge's choice, the best of the best. Participation is open to all residents of Fountain Valley. Gated community are disqualified as they cannot be available for public viewing. There's no entry fee and is no cash prize contest. Visit our website, fountainvalley.gov, to see all the rules and to register your home. The next one I have is December 4th, is Network at Night at Mimi Jewelry. The address is 18591 Broker Street in the hour from 5 to 7 p.m. If you don't know Mr. David Chung, come there and find out for yourself. Amazing person. He's always there for the community. Whatever we need, he's always there to support the community. So please come out and participate. You might, who knows, you might find a little piece of jewelry for your loved one at his place. And on December 8th at 11:30 a.m., there's going to be a holiday luncheons and chamber board installations, and it's organized by the Fountain Valley Chamber of Commerce. It's going to be held at the Miles Square Golf Club, and individual tickets are available. So chamber members, it is $60. Non-chamber members is $65. And after December 1st, it is $70. And if you'd like more information, please reach out to 714-962-3822. So that is the Fountain Valley Chamber of Commerce event. Okay. And I have a little statement that I like. On a more serious note, I have a little statement I like to make. So, on a more important note, in response to a complaint originally received on Wednesday, November 6, 2025, the city continued to take this matter seriously. comments made during public meeting, particularly those at the November 4th, 2025 council meeting, carry real weight. When residents participate through interpreter or responsibility to maintain respect, professionalism, and a culture of belonging and inclusion is even greater. Even when unintended, remarks that cause residents to feel unwelcome or uncomfortable can weaken public trust and create legal or reputational risks for the city. Our duty is to acknowledge concern, respond thoughtfully, and reinforce a safe and respectful environment for everyone who engage in city business. This morning, the city attorney informed us that the city has received additional complaint letters related to the same meeting. These new communications indicate that concerns extend beyond the initial complaining, underscoring the importance of addressing this matter thoroughly and consistently. As previously noted, the initial complaint was later retracted following 2 private discussions, and the individual involved stated that they consider the matter resolved. We are grateful for that resolution. However, the emergence of new complaints require us to ensure that we fully understand our remaining responsibility under applicable laws and policy. As we move forward, we remain committed to civic engagement and participation that reflect Fountain Valley core value, kindness, transparency, accountability, and meaningful inclusion. Before the city formally closes this matter, I'm requesting that we seek further clarifications by obtaining a legal opinion letter from an outside law firm. This step will ensure that the city and its elected officials are properly advised, protected from potential liability, and aligned with all legal obligations. Once the legal opinion is completed, we will convene a special meeting to review its finding. I'm seeking the unanimous support of my colleague and take the step both in the interest of transparency and to strengthen public trust in our governance. Finally, I want to be clear. This is not a judgment against any individual involved, nor does it diminish the value of the initial retraction. This is simply the standard of consistency, integrity, and fairness that we apply whenever concerns are brought to the city attention. So I would like to make a consideration that we put this item for next week at a special meeting for a review. And I just want to double check with our outside counsel of my statement and statement and reference to the consideration to put on next week is appropriate.
I'll comment on that, Mr. Mayor. It's probably best to do it during items for future consideration,
Okay.
and it can be brought up at that point, and a motion can be made, and if there's a second, there's a second. That's okay.
Okay. I'm okay with that. So we'll go ahead and put that at the end. We'll talk about it and put it in for consideration. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Moving on to the next order of business. It is a presentations, but do we have confirmation if Supervisor Nguyen is here or? Oh, she won't be here. Okay, so the update from our supervisor is not present. So we're going to go into the next item, which is recognitions of Los Alamigos High School volleyball team as league champions. Presentation by me. I'm sorry?
Los Amigos.
Los Amigos, correct. That's correct. Thank you. And I have a little recognitions for them, and I'm going to read as follows. And my apologies if I mispronounce some of the name here. So the Los Amigos girls volleyball team had a historic season this fall. The Lobos had a dominant 10-2 league record in their way to earning the Orange League title. Wow. This league championship was the program's first title since earning the Garden Grove League title in 1983, 42 years ago. Wow. The Lobos were led by the stellar play of seniors outside hider Catalina Guardado, senior middle blocker Precious Macaulay, senior middle blocker Heidi Nava, senior opposite hider Cruz Vega Sanchez, and senior libero Maleni Adradi. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. And then Coach Val Herndon has faithfully led the Los Amigos girls volleyball program for 11 seasons. This year marks the second playoff berth. It's BERTH, berth, in the last 3 seasons for Los Amigos. Coach Herndon has been instrumental in the development and rise of the girls volleyball program on and off the courts. These young champions were also victorious in the classroom, earning a team average GPA of 3.5. Wow. With a few member over 4.0 mark. Wow, that's amazing. Congratulations, by the way. Los Amigos is proud of all that has been accomplished by this group of outstanding student athletic. Congratulations to Los Amigos girls volleyball. Proud to be a Lobo. All right, I'd like to invite my colleague to come down with me and we'll hand out the certificate of recognitions.
Okay, I'm going to read off the names. So first is Yamalet Allende. Okay. Melanie Andrade. Isabella Ariano. Yatziri Boldovinos. Catalina Giardado. Betsy Luciano. Favor Macaulay. Nope. And Precious Macaulay. Oh, okay. Heidi Nava. Hiriana Nunez. Jasminda Pelagio Luciano. Delilah Ponce. Karen Salcenaba. And Cruz Vega. Congratulations.
Go back just a little bit. You're a Lobo. You should be in the picture. And I'm going to swap you too. I'm going to put you comfortable there.
Lobo. There you go. Lobo. Where do we? Okay. A Lobo?
Okay. Stay right there. Beautiful. Do you have a chant?
Yeah, but do you want me to stand on that side, or? No, I just want to say thank you. Oh, okay, sure. Thank you very much to the mayor and to the city council. We appreciate the recognition. The girls worked really hard this year. Want to thank Mr. Nurk, our principal, who has supported everything that we've done. So thank you, Mr. Nurk. Also, I just wanted to take a quick second and recognize our assistant coaches, which I could not survive without them, Brittany Trujillo, Jessica Sanchez, and Jackie Organista. So thank you, everyone. We really appreciate it. Go Lobos.
All right. Next one is Hyundai Hope on Wheels 5K and Color Fun Runs. Check presentations by our Community Service Director, Mr. Rob Frizzell.
All right, thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council. That's a tough one to follow up. 42 years in between league championships. That's absolutely amazing, and congratulations. It is my esteemed privilege tonight to introduce the Hyundai Hope on Wheels and Color Fun Run check presentation. It is one of the highlights of our annual special events programs in the city of Fountain Valley, and I'm so excited to have our Hyundai team joining us here, and they'll wave real quick. Michelle Caragillian. All right. John Gustafaro. Teresa Pell, and Ryan Millett. Oh, I didn't say Brandon. I thought I started with Brandon. It was the first. He was the first on my list. I skipped over it. And Brandon Ramirez. I turned around and saw Michelle. She takes my mind. All right. So we are so excited through this annual partnership, through our Fountain Valley and Hyundai community partnership, that we get to collaborate with Hyundai Motor America to put on the annual Hyundai Hope on Wheels Color Fun Run and 5K. Last year in 2024, we set a record total of 1,398 runners. It was our biggest 5K we ever had, and we were ecstatic. We had a great time, great participation, and everybody had a lot of fun. But our team, combined of Hyundai and our Community Services Department, would not take that, sitting down and decided if we can do almost 1,500, we know we can do 2,000 next year. And so we set that goal. There was days where we thought we might not get it, but we worked extremely hard to promote and support this race and support our school district, our community groups, and our local nonprofits, and educate them on the awesome opportunities to fundraise and directly engage with our community and give back funds to local charities as well. So as you can see here, this year we had 2,104 runners, beating our championship total of last year by over 700 runners. So Hyundai, give yourself a big round of applause.
Back-to-back champs. We like that.
What are we going to do next year? I don't know. We'll have to come up with a number. We're not throwing, I think we might have thrown out 2,000 here at the dais last year, so we'll be careful. But you can see the breakdown there. We had 1,318 runners run the 5K, 641 run the Color Fun Run, and then another 145 sign up, donate their money, and participate virtually, which was awesome. Highlighting this was over 44 registered teams, and if you're in the crowd here or seeing this on the screen tonight, I bet you're associated or affiliated with one of these groups here. These were awesome registered teams, and as long as you could get 10 runners registered for the race, you would qualify for being part of the reimbursement from the revenues of the registration. Quickly, before we get on to some awesome photos and the check presentations, we got to thank our sponsors. Our sponsors really helped make this such a special event. So big round of applause real quick. You see all the sponsors in there. All right. And next, we just quickly, just to go through a couple awesome photos, the vibe of the entire day, and I know the majority of council was there, and hopefully a lot of people that are receiving checks were there that day. It was a little gloomy. It was raining just a tad in the early morning, but it actually made for perfect race conditions, because who wants to run when it's like 90 degrees out? So it was a little bit overcast, but that didn't stop anybody's smiles. You can see on the bottom left there, that's the color for the Kids 5K, or the Kids Fun Run. We had multiple school mascots out there. We had the Chalk Bear, we had a Sunny Summer Fest, and just every photo you can just see smiling and happy families. So, and then up there on the top right, you can see the starting line was just massive. And Hyundai did just such an amazing job with invigorating the crowd, leading the stretches, inspirational, motivational speakers, and it really kicked off for an awesome day. All right, and then the super fun one is the fun run, and I think you can just see it from the photos here. Everybody had just a marvelous time. If you want to, you can get as much color on you as you want. I know Glenn was out there with the foundation group throwing color, and I'm sure we had some other volunteers that were sharing the color out there. But I look at those 3 kids holding those medals there. I'm not sure you can get 3 cuter kids celebrating Hyundai Motor America. And look how happy she is finishing on the far right in the finish line, and the families and everybody having a great time.
My shoes are still covered in color.
You know, sometimes that happens. We do recommend people bring towels with them so that when they sit down in their car after the race, they don't get color on there. So. And with that, I just wanted to show this really cool photo. This is the team that really makes this stuff happen. This is the Hyundai Motor America team and all their staff and team right in front of their Hope sign, giving the Hyundai Hope on Wheels high five. And with that, I wanted to hand it over to John Gustafaro, the director of Hyundai Hope on Wheels.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
I mean, not much more to add to that. What a great collaboration. You know, you're right in our own backyard of Hyundai Motor America right here in Fountain Valley. And I have the honor of leading Hyundai Hope on Wheels. Our vision, if you don't know, is to end childhood cancer. I can't think of anything more important than that. It's a bold vision, but there's nothing more important. Behind all the fun and behind every step that we took at this event, you helped not only helped residents of Fountain Valley, but helped our vision as well. This is our 27th year of Hyundai Hope on Wheels. We're one of the largest charities in the nation funding pediatric cancer research, treatment, and even new survivorship programs for the growing number of cancer survivors. So the good news, there is hope. The overall survival rate of childhood cancer is over 85%. It's a high number, but it's not high enough, and that's what drives us every day. Everyone at Hyundai, all of our 850 dealers across the nation, Hyundai Motor America, but also leaders like you. We look at this as a public-private partnership, and this event is such a highlight in our year, taking place in National Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. So, and the fund's certainly helping our community, but also helping our mission. So thank you for letting me share a little bit more about that. Thank you so much. I'm going to pass it to Michelle Caragellian to share more about the monetary awards.
Okay, I'm gonna get into the checks. So if you're here, if you can come up. I'm a little shorter than you guys, so maybe I'll come on around this side. Is that okay? Okay.
You're giving out money. You can do whatever you want.
I'm just almost as tall as Rob is from the other side. Also, just special thank you to the city of Fountain Valley, because we wouldn't have been able to partner with them and make this as much of a success if it weren't for them. So Annette is not here. I know she's listening. So she was amazing in this. And Scott Baker, who used to actually work for the city and is now a police officer in Costa Mesa. Really, I mean, I have annoyed them far more than I've annoyed Rob. You're welcome. But they really made this happen with Christy and Jenny and Jake and everybody in the city. So thank you guys all for being a part of that. I really appreciate it. And especially thank you to those who had over 10 runners. We did have a lot of teams, as you saw on the list, but we invited basically the top 10 to 12. So if you're here, if you'd like to come up, Ryan Miller will take your photo with the check, and then maybe we could just take a large group one at the end. So I have Newland Elementary School, $357. And then I have Oka Elementary School, $441. And then I have Talbot Middle School for $609. John, do you guys want to come up? Maybe I could have you guys stay up here and then we can do the.
Yeah, Mayor Bowie, would you come down and join us?
Yeah. Please. You guys all want to come down and be in the photo? Yeah, you guys moving a little bit? I know you guys did a long meeting for you guys. Come on down.
Another photo.
Okay.
Like I said, you're giving out the money, we do what you want.
Yeah. Rob has the real check, so if it makes you feel better.
I do have the real check for you
Yeah.
after.
I'm going to put you right here, and I'm going to you on the.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And next year we'll have even more. And then if you guys could just say, so then I have Geisler Elementary School for $840. Thank you.
Thank you.
Real check. And then I have Fountain Valley High School Boys Basketball Boosters Association for $1,092. And then I have Fulton Middle School for cheer. $1,092. You want to come in the photo? Oh. Congratulations. And then are you collecting the real check? I was gonna say, maybe she takes the fake check, you take the real check. Perfect. I think we're good. You can take both of them. Thank you. Tamura Elementary School PTA. Platten Elementary School. Oh, all of you guys come on. Okay, I can't hold this check. You guys have to hold it. You guys hold it. Come over here.
You guys too, everybody, come on.
Come on, you guys get he'll take a photo.
Go back just a second.
Yeah.
Hey, can I have all of you hold the check? Can I hold them like that? Good job. Look up here. Oh, you mean, oh, that's a good smiles. And one for your parents here too.
We haven't forgotten about that.
I blocked all the photos. And one more. Hold that check up over your head like, yeah, we did it.
Black white style. Go Platten.
You
And then I have Cox Elementary School PTA. You guys want to hold it, chat? You want to hold it, buddies? You guys gotta hold it. It's too heavy for me. Here, why don't you guys come in here behind them? You're taller than them and a little bit shorter. Come over. Oh, I like your shirt. That's the coolest shirt I've seen all night.
So I gotta move the check over the middle of it. Still hold it. There you go. You grab it. Grab it too. Can you grab it too? Yeah. Can you grab it too? Yes. Perfect.
Oh, he's got the shirt on.
Yeah, that's what I said. He's got the coolest shirt on today.
Cute. Look up here, look right here, big smile. Oh, awesome. Thank you.
Thank you guys. Congratulations. I don't think that they're here, but Courageous Elementary School. So they have $2,310. And then we have Fountain Valley High School dance team. Yay! So they have $2,325.
Go Barons.
I saw you do that thing a minute ago.
Hey, I represent Los Domingos too.
Barons for life.
Beautiful. B for L.
I got it. Yay. Thank you.
Congratulations, you guys. And then we have the Fountain Valley RR Booster Association.
Royal Regiment.
Royal Regiment. And that's 3,200. Picture is great, but the real check is even better, I promise. Okay, and then this is the last one, so just so you guys know, this is had the most registrations, and I apologize for not explaining it earlier, but for every registration that these schools had over 10, they basically got money for each registration. So Masuda Middle School PTSO received $3,500.
Before you clear the room, I also want to take this opportunity, the city and the community wanted to go ahead and thank Hyundai for your ongoing support of our community, in addition to all these checks that they just provided to our schools and so forth. Hyundai also donated $100,000 back to our community for our nonprofit organization. Hold on. Hyundai also, over the years, since I've been here, and I'm sure beyond 10 years, have partnered with the city, and we just received 10 new vehicles in support of, our staff, commuting and so forth. And myself personally, I received a Hyundai Santa Fe. And so we appreciate the partnership. We appreciate the cars, and it is amazing. So if you're looking for a car, let's go to Hyundai. Come on. Thank you.
Did you want to get everybody back down after two?
Do you want to choose some documents?
Sure.
Scott Smith, why don't you join? Scott handles fleet and everything.
Okay,
like that.
yeah, sounds good.
Yes.
What do you guys come over? Sure, sure.
If you come in the middle,
See you in person.
and if you could, Thank you.
Hey, Maggie. We also have to thank Hyundai for one other thing as well. I was there on Saturday when they gave out, how many turkeys did you give out to the community?
755.
755 turkeys.
Me too. It was
To the
great.
community.
Thank you.
which is just amazing. In the pouring rain, you guys were out there doing that. And I want to thank my wife, too, who cooked 2 of them for Robin's Nest. So thank you, Mary.
It's okay, I know you so much that
Okay. The next one is donations by Fountain Valley Rotary Club for the remaining of Ads on the Way. Presentations by Chef Mala McGee, President of Fountain Valley Rotary Club.
Good evening. Thank you for having us. Got Gary Hickman here with us, our president-elect. As it's not a secret that the late great Ed Arnold was a proud Rotarian. In fact, he helped found our club back in 1984 and served as our charter president. So when the opportunity came up for the club to sponsor the renaming of Ed Arnold Way, it was a natural for us. So we're here. I am here to present the city with a check for $1,200 to pay for those expenses.
Wow. Thank you. Oh, okay. So, Vice Mayor Jim Cooney is a past president of Rotarian Club. So are you. So are you. Yeah, this is the most recent one. I think we honor for him to receive it as a past president. Yeah.
All right, turn around right here. Thank you so much.
Sorry, Mrs.
I'm this past president, Jim.
Which is more recent. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the information.
Okay. Vice President.
Yes.
All right, Mr. City Clerk, is there any request to speak on unscheduled matter only?
We have 4 requests to speak on unscheduled items.
Okay.
First is Brett Berg.
Evening. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you. My name is Brett Berg. I've been a Fountain Valley resident since '96, and a few days ago, the mayor posted an item on the Fountain Valley Community Forum on Facebook. And it was entitled, What Does Becoming a Charter City Mean for Fountain Valley? And, you know, in high school, I had a math teacher that when it was time to go over problems, he would always say to us, what are you trying to solve for? And so that's really my question to the mayor, is what are you trying to solve for by becoming a charter city? When I read all of the comments on the community forum, it's clear that the biggest issue that people have is the local land use and housing control. And we all know that that is primarily governed by the state, and we don't have much ability to change those rules. So when I saw that bullet point that he made regarding more local control and then the ability to have better control of local land use, I just want to know, how successful has Huntington Beach been in trying to overturn those laws? How much money has it cost them to fight those laws? A lot, and they have not succeeded in any of those lawsuits. Secondarily, the bullet points reference fiscal responsibility and transparency. Boy, there's a lot of deals that have gone down in Huntington Beach that certainly don't suggest transparency or fiscal responsibility. And the July 4th air show contract is a perfect example of that. One of the other things regarding local control is, as an example, to buy local bidding rules. I think that's great. I don't think you need to become a charter city to accomplish that. So basically, I think the need for a charter city is something that perhaps should have been discussed 60, how old are we now? Almost 70 years ago when we became incorporated. So bringing it up today, I think, at least to me, smells like a bit of a power grab and the ability to line somebody's pockets. And the last thing I would like to say is I found it very troubling that the mayor chose to bring in the former city attorney from the city of Huntington Beach, given how much money the city of Huntington Beach has spent and lost in trying to fight the land use issues.
Brett, your time's up.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate your time.
Julie?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I'm going to follow with him. I have yet to hear a good reason to do this. If it's so that we can join with other cities to fight Sacramento, that's going to be a waste of our money. We don't have that kind of money to do that, and I just think it'd be a waste. I don't think it's good for Fountain Valley. I think it opens us up to more taxes, more expenses, and quite less frankly, leaves us open for a lot of corruption, which is a scary point to me. So I am going to respectfully ask that you pull item number 1 from the consent calendar until we have a plan in place and it's publicly, the plan that's put in place is publicly discussed, so that if it's going to go to the ballot, people have a good idea of what they're really voting on. And thank you for your time.
Mike Nisko?
Hi, good evening. Mayor Bowie, council members, neighbors. So my name is Dr. Michael Nisko, and I live in the Currents community, but I was raised here in Fountain Valley. Went to Cox School in Masuda when it opened. I was there on the first day, and later Fountain Valley High School. I grew up in a home that valued hard work and education, and those values carried me through UC Irvine Medical School, specialty training at Harvard Medical School, and now into work as a division leader and a professor at UCI Health. But one of my proudest lifetime achievements, which I brag about far more than anything, is I never lost to Edison in 4 years of football. All right? League champs 4 years in a row. And whenever I see my classmates, which is frequent, that still makes us smile. I'd like to share a brief story that shaped my understanding of belonging. It's a personal story about, I met a beautiful young lady in UC Irvine as an undergrad who I married and I'm still married to today. She's Chinese American. We married at a time when Fountain Valley wasn't as diverse as today, and our marriage wasn't well accepted by many. And my father actually disowned me when my wife and I refused to stop teaching our son Chinese. We didn't speak for years because of this. The irony is that his own parents came from Italy and didn't speak English. And he was a tough guy and grew up in North Boston. And he used to go punching people who would make fun of his parents for not speaking English. Yet he himself was doing the same thing to us. So when empathy fades, misunderstanding grows and language can become a barrier instead of a bridge. And that memory came back to me after that November 4th council meeting. So those who used the Vietnamese interpretation services to try to participate fully, which was their right, were made to feel unwelcome, and that was not the intention, but the impact was real. What happened afterward showed something really wonderful, though. Councilmember Grandis and Kim Constantine both reached out in a wonderful way, in good faith, to express regret for the way they were understood and show that it wasn't their intentions. Councilmember Grandis and Mayor Bowie came to our Neighbors Giving celebration this past weekend, engaged directly with our neighbors and created real, genuine healing in our community. So I want you to know, my father and I reconciled with my wife, and my father said to my wife after many years, what a wonderful young son you raised, and that one season created tremendous healing. Fountain Valley is that kind of a place. It's a city that listens, learns, and grows, where every voice belongs. Empathy and care that I saw from our city's leaders these past couple of weeks show why I'm proud to be from Fountain Valley, and why, although I may be outnumbered by Lobos here tonight, I will always be a proud Baron for life. Thank you.
Katie?
Greeting Mayor, City Council, public, staff. Misunderstandings abound. I think a lot of what was complained about, given the language situation, was not so much that a service was provided to those who had a need for it. People that I was talking with, and indeed expressing my opinion, was the dismay that at some point, while there were interpreters on the clock present, someone chose to speak in at least 2 languages from the dais, and it was not translated to everyone present. That was my complaint. That was my concern. I can assume by context what was said, but you had people on the clock, on the payroll, 2 interpreters that could easily have solved that problem in real time. And leadership, there's a very famous quote by legendary football coach Tom Landry, Dallas Cowboys, "What you tolerate, you encourage." And it's often attributed to him. It means that by tolerating unacceptable behavior, poor performance, or other issues, you are effectively encouraging them to continue. The core message is what you allow is what you get, and that setting and upholding boundaries is crucial for maintaining standards and leadership in life. My parents taught us never to eat in front of other people. If there wasn't enough to go around, you didn't eat in front of others. It was rude. Also, they taught me never whisper in front of other people. You're excluding the other person who can't hear you, and it's rude. It makes that person feel bad. So essentially, what happened that created this flap was the equivalent of what my mother taught me was very rude. Somebody was essentially whispering in front of a crowd of people and not letting them in on what was said. That's all. My beef is, if I was shopping on Amazon and I purchased a service and it didn't come out the way it should have, or if what was fully there was not utilized and I didn't say anything, it's my bad for being the shopper that didn't make sure I got my money's worth. We had someone in this room who was shopping for that service, paid for that service on behalf of all the taxpayers, and did not make sure that that service was rendered to all the taxpayers. That was my complaint. I am all about total inclusion, people being able to understand what goes on in these meetings, no matter what language you speak, if you even can't speak or hear it. I think I have a record on that. So, in all due respect to everyone, I am glad to see everyone engaged. I am forever out in the hallway showing people how to use the blue speaker's cards, no matter if they agree with me or not. Thank you.
I have no more requests to speak on unscheduled matters.
Okay, thank you, Mr. City Clerk. For those who are a regular to this meeting, you probably already know the routine. But I'm going to speak for those who may not know. So if it is a topic that is on unscheduled matter, that is not on agenda items, we cannot respond to it. All right? Thank you. And we'll go ahead and move on to consent calendar item 1 through 4 will be approved simultaneously with one motion unless separate action or discussion is requested.
I make a motion to approve consent calendar items number 1 through 4.
I'll second.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor and a second.
Items 1 through 4 pass 5-0.
Thank you. Next item is the second reading and adoptions of an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Fountain Valley, California, adopting by reference the 2025 editions of the California Fire Code as modified. Presentation by our Fire Marshal, Mr. Tang Nguyen. Welcome.
Good evening, Mayor Bowie, members of City Council, City Manager. My name is Tang Nguyen, Deputy Fire Marshal. This evening, staff is presenting the second reading and adoption of an ordinance repealing and reenacting portions of Title 17 of the Fountain Valley Municipal Code to adopt the 2025 edition of the California Fire Code, which takes effect statewide January 1st, 2026. The accompanying resolution established the necessary findings to support the city's existing local code amendments. These amendments continue from previous code cycles, address requirements specific to the City of Fountain Valley, such as fire access and water supply. Adoption of these items keep the city in compliance with state law and consistent with general code standards. Staff recommends the City Council approve the second reading of an ordinance adopting by reference the 2025 edition of the California Fire Code as modified. That concludes staff's presentation. I'm open to answering any questions the council may have.
Okay, I'm going to open the floor. Before I do that, I want to open for any public comment. Do you have any?
We have no request to speak.
Okay, I'm going to close public hearing. To my colleague, anybody like to have any discussion or questions, comments? Nope. All right, we'll go ahead and call for motions.
I make a motion to approve item number 5.
I'll second.
All right, we have a first and a second. Let's vote, please.
Item number 5 passes 5-0.
Thank you. Okay, next item is administrative items. Renew the City Tech software subscriptions from January 1st, 2026 to December 31st, 2030. Presentation by IT Manager Stephen Bolson.
All right. We can go to the next slide, please. So City Tech software is a cloud-based permitting system. It's in use by multiple departments in the city, building division, planning, fire prevention, code enforcement, and public works. We've been using a version of City Tech software to issue permits at least since 2013, and I did find out earlier today that we've actually been partnered with them since at least April of 2004. We are up for a renewal on their software. I would like to go for a 5-year renewal. They have the lowest overall year-per-year increase that I've seen in software, so they're advertising at a 3% year-to-year increase. And it's one of the best deals I've seen on software subscription renewals. Go to next, please. So I think there's basically 2 alternatives. Either we purchase a 5-year subscription, or we can explore other options, research and evaluate different permitting systems, and see if we can integrate those as well. Staff recommends that we do go with alternative number 1, get the 5-year subscription, and lock in the price for the next few years. And I'm open to questions, and I do have other members here that can answer more detailed questions as well.
Great, thank you. Okay, is there any questions or comments from my colleague? Okay, Councilman Grandis.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm a little concerned about 5 years. I will say I sell subscription software for a living to state and local governments, not anything related to this. And the 3% increase is reasonable, especially over 5 years. Couple questions. Is it annual payments or is it all upfront?
It's annual payments.
Annual payments. Okay, that's good. Is there an escape clause? So if something happens to their company, support, what gets us out of this contract if we have to?
Honestly, I would have to double check that unless possibly Scott Kim can address or Mark Abbott.
So right now we don't, but that is something we can come back to council. We can add that into the clause if that's a concern for council.
Well, my concern is as we all know, technology 5 years ago is way different than it is today. We didn't have AI 5 years ago. And there may be another company 2 years from now, 3 years from now, who has a much better product and something that we would want to do. And if we're locked into a contract like this, then we can't grow. Also, my concern is updates and, you know, if they come out with a new product, I'm in the industry, so I'll be honest, I don't see 5-year contracts very often. Maybe this is a little bit different, but those are my concerns.
So I've discussed this with Community Development Director Omar Dadaboy. This is something that we've been using for a long time. We've been working with the team, and any add-ons, developments we've asked for that they've implemented. We have staff here that can talk a little more about it. Some of the changes have been coming with, every time we need any changes, they've been making changes and adding on the additional tools that we've needed. Me and Omar, we've looked at other solutions, especially for the government programs, and most of them do have, I would say, are a little more behind on the technology. Changing on the bigger companies has been a little more tough than working with Charles Abbott and or City Tech. I apologize with City Tech and asking for the changes. They've been very open and receptive for making additions and add-ons for us.
Yeah, I get all that, and I understand. You know, there's in this industry, you know, consolidation occurs, going public occurs, going private occurs. You know, takeovers of other companies. To me, it's nothing. I mean, I know you guys have done your due diligence on the software itself, and I'm sure it's a great company. My concern is the 5 years. Is there any difference in cost if we did a 3-year at this point? I know it doesn't guarantee only a 3% in year 4, but.
Yep, we're putting you on the spot.
There is.
Oh, is the vendor here?
Vendor's here. We have Fire here, and we also have Derek from building here.
And I want to take a minute, too, to staff and apologize. I normally, before meetings like this, would always go over my concerns so we have all these answers and prepare you so that you can give the answers, and I did not do it this time, so my apologies.
No problem. They're great concerns.
Good evening, Mayor and Council and Ms. Lee. I'm Mark Abbott with City Tech Solutions. Your concerns, Councilmember, are very valid. We do not do that. I've been a building official and inspector for a number of years. I graduated with a programming degree and kind of fell into this industry. I would honor the 3 years as opposed to 5 years. I find that this industry, the software vendors often just, for lack of a better word, really take cities and screw them in the pants, because it is just.
I don't do that.
It is a niche market. It is a niche industry with few competitors, and so they can really get whatever they ask for. And I find that that's the chip on my shoulder is to upend that. I'm wholly owned. I don't have venture capital. I don't have debt, and I'm not looking to sell out. Okay. For all your concerns, and I hear that, and I get that, and that's really what I'm kind of trying to upend this industry to give a better product. As Scott said, we give updates frequently. You don't have to pay for the updates. That's in your subscription, and that's purposeful because nobody else does that. It's a high margin, but also high cost industry, and so I'm trying to bring a better product to the market, to cities. I've appreciated Fountain Valley's relationship and hope that it continues in forever, or for a while.
Well, I appreciate that. Is there any way we could do since it's annual payments, it's not upfront, what if we were to do a 3-year deal with our option for years 4 and 5 at the same pricing you had here? Would you be?
Yeah, that's not usually a typical alternative for a 3+1+1 type contract.
Right.
I'm fine with that as well.
Well, and I'm sorry.
Councilmember, if it's possible, can I invite Derek, our building official, to kind of share the city staff experience? I know Community Development Department is heavily utilizing.
I'm not questioning that at all. I know Scott Kim would not bring this before us unless it was the solution that we want. I get that. But you're welcome.
Okay. Good evening, Mayor, members of the council. I've been with the city since 2015, and City Tech Solutions has been our permit system from that date and going forward. Been very pleased with its performance. As far as it never really goes down, that's a big plus for us because we really rely on it to be there for us. Over the last 5 years, it's been, the online presence has been huge for us. So the portal, the customer service, the transparency of that system has transformed what it was when I first started, over 10 years ago.
I appreciate that, and I would expect nothing less. So, I mean, if the vendor is willing to do a 3+1+1, there's no downside to us. I'd like to make a motion, unless somebody else has a comment, that we do the contract as amended, 3+1+1 at the pricing agreed to, and maybe after 3 years, we'll extend another 3 years. We'll have that option as well. So, if it's okay with the vendor.
Yeah, and if it's okay with staff.
Yeah, I have no issues altering that.
Okay. Anybody else have any more comments or suggestion? No? Actually, I have a few questions. I was hoping a little bit of a history behind it. I did not see any history on the presentations nor what was given to us. It was more like, I see it as a marketing material. You mentioned a little bit earlier that they've been a partner since 2004.
That's correct.
Can you define what do you mean by partner?
They used to provide staffing for the city, supplemental permitting staffing. I think that continued until, well, I think that's originally how Derek came on board, and then transitioned over to being part of a Fountain Valley staff member away from Charles Abbott Software. You might have to check me on exact dates. I don't know if it was 2015, 2016, when I don't know if you actually split.
Stephen, let's
Sure.
have
Yeah, sure.
Mark
Please.
kind of give the company.
So, my last name is Abbott, Charles Abbott, and my Charles Abbott was my father. We were partners with the city for a number of decades, providing building safety services here. I came aboard and started working for my dad's company during a recession because I couldn't get a programming job, and came into this app that our company had and took it to another level over the years. It got to such a wieldy, it wasn't wieldy, but to such a point where we spun it off into its own entity. Hard to sell software with the name Charles Abbott on your app and give it a edgy name. So we realized that it could go and take off and skyrocket to another direction, so we actually spun it out into another entity, which I now run. So, and which is another angle of our software is that I actually worked in the industry that I now programmed this app for. So the app has been in some phase of since 2003. Charles Abbott was just providing it as a free service, as an add-on service to our staffing contracts because cities needed something to collect permit data. And so that was a part of our part of our contract. As technology improved and costs of those things and cloud computing came aboard, we had to start charging for it, couldn't afford it as an add-on. And then we just kept iterating it to another level with, as Derek mentioned, the portal. If you all don't know, Fountain Valley was one of the first online electronic plan check portals here in Orange County in 2016. So we do keep iterating on it. You don't have to pay for the upgrades because your annual service fee pays for that. So we brought, I think, 2 updates this past year with our contract, and we continue to I was here for 2 hours yesterday discussing with staff new features we're trying to bring and getting their feedback, firsthand as to what can make them more efficient and, to your constituents.
Okay, well, first of all, I want to thank you and appreciate the work that has gone into this proposal. But before we move forward, I just want to ask a few routine due diligence, questions to ensure the vendors' clarity and transparency. Having said that, can you confirm your corporate structure, whether it's operates solely or as a U.S. corporation, or if any parents or affiliate entity are involved?
Our structure is an S corp, and I'm the sole shareholder of the corporation.
Okay, and there's 3 officers, I believe, there's on there?
Correct.
And I believe you service more than 100 municipal.
It's roughly 100, yeah.
Yeah. So you have only 3 personnel on the corporate?
Full-time.
Full-time.
I've quite a few contractors, yes.
So you sub it out?
I contract out. I am a coder, but I'm not the smartest coder, and so I have hired a lot better coders to take the app to where it needs to go.
Okay, so that means you share staffing level of development, or any issue you sub it out to personnel that handle that.
Yes, sir.
And the personnel that handle that, are they U.S. based or
Yes,
they're all U.S. based?
Yes, sir. I've learned. It's a funny story. I learned my lesson quite a bit ago that you can't. You need to have them mostly English language, speaking folks who are here in these time zones to help. I have 2 folks on the East Coast who are up at 5 a.m. or 4 a.m. our time to help my East Coast clients. We have a Midwest, one of my contractors in the Midwest. 2 of my contractors in the Midwest, and then 3 of us are here in California.
I'm glad that you brought out the language. That's one aspect of it. I was looking more in the different aspect in terms of compliance, because you handle a lot of vital information from the city.
Yes.
So there's a federal compliance aspect to it.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, all right, just make sure. And one thing that struck me is the company that right now is CityTech, but it just incorporated only a year and 7 months ago.
Correct.
So since you've been serviced with us since 2004, did you send a notice to the city that you changed name? And for what reason?
So the contract was with Charles Abbott Associates, and so we were a DBA under Charles Abbott Associates for 5 years. So we were providing the software as Charles Abbott Associates, and the contract was under CAA. Then when the transition happened, we separated out as a contract for CityTech. And so I don't believe there was ever a time that we needed to send a notice that it transitioned as the contract became, we did do a renewal, or did do a new contract that was straight CityTech. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So there was no transition, so to speak, to send a notice. Yeah.
Is there any particular reason why you have to change your name? Is there a legal reason?
So as I explained earlier, it was the CEO of Charles Abbott, and who's Rusty Reed, and I decided to I had different ideas as to where the software needed to go, and so we decided to mutually separate the IP from Charles Abbott into its own entity, so that I could make decisions that I thought were better in favor of CityTech rather than for the staffing, the consulting company that Charles Abbott is.
Okay, so it's just a different vision that you think it would be more beneficial operating.
Yes, sir. I mean, yes, sir.
Any legal reason why you have to change? Just want to clarify that.
Correct, sir. Yeah.
Okay, great. I want to touch up a little bit onto what my colleagues mentioned, reference to hosting and backups. And when I read what was presented, I thought it was kind of a bit vague. When you talk about backup, you just mentioned frequency. That was it. You talk about backup frequency.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But you didn't go into specific details. So I think staff have given me some reason. I just want to hear from your perspective, because you're the one who's providing it. For example, the duration of restoration, how long does it take? and how long the data is retained, and the rollback works in the case of data corruptions as well as public record requests. How has that been handled?
Yes, sir. So our backup routine is pretty thorough. We have a 15-minute backup routine that backups our 3 entire servers every 15 minutes and all the data, as well as hourly, and then as well as nightly, and then as well as monthly. And so all of that data is. We use the Amazon data center in Northern California, and all that data retention is sent off to the data center in Oregon, the Amazon data center in Oregon, for some data separation, so that if the data center in San Jose ever caught fire or had a problem, all of our data is in Oregon. So if an earthquake ever cut the pipeline between here and Northern California, we could easily spin up another server in Amazon's data center in Boston or wherever we choose to. We have all those backups. And so the data backup and the data, in theory, we could have, if something happened, have a database backup in a matter of 15 minutes. But with, I think you said, data consistency checks, making sure that data is not corrupted, it does take a bit longer than that to actually spin up a new server, run through data consistency checks, and then get everybody access back to the data. So, theory, yes, Amazon is the features of Amazon are amazing. Cloud computing is amazing. Will it take 15 minutes? No, it probably takes a bit longer.
So you mentioned Amazon, so I'm assuming you use the AWS?
We use AWS, we use Azure, Microsoft Azure, we use several different services.
All right, last question is, you talk about your system is an open architecture, but you didn't mention what would it cost for integration to a third-party system is available at additional cost.
Yes, sir.
And I don't know. You didn't mention on there. There was missing details in reference to that. So, for example, if we have to integrate into Minus system or GIS system, you didn't mention the cost. I only can speak this because from my own experience, from the work that I do on my and we have integrations, we have system backup, and that third-party system could be in the 6 figures.
Sure.
So you didn't talk about here. So I want to know, what is that cost?
Sure. And it's tough to give you exact quote for what, but I think, I don't know if we're allowed to speak to it, but we will be doing a Munis integration with the finance system here shortly, and it was not 6 figures.
I believe the mayor, your comment is about if we were to change solutions. Is that what we're talking about? So I think the mayor is asking if we were to move solutions, would there be a cost to move that solution off from your database to another database?
No. So I thought he was asking about integrations.
No.
For integrations.
You were more correct.
Okay.
The other one, there's no cost. I'm aware of that already.
Yeah. For integrations, it's quote. We got to figure out how much work to do. We will be doing a integration with the Munis Finance, so that which should be a really nice integration to save about 10 minutes per permit for building and safety. So there is a enormous cost savings. Or enormous time savings there for a little bit of money. So it's not 6 figures. We're charging. I think our cost for that integration was about $15,000. One time cost. 18,000.
12,000.
12,000. Excuse me, for one time cost. So the integration is just. It's about what I view as integrations when cities approach me for integrations is that. If you're asking me for an integration, it is going to help me, whatever it is usually going to help me sell my software to someplace else. So you shouldn't be on the hook for the entire thing when I'm going to go and sell that feature, 5 times over. So I appreciate, when they all come, when staff and IT comes to me and says, hey, can we do this, and what would it take? I'm all ears because I understand the economies of scale that I'm going to be able to, if you just pay me for some hourly time, it's going to take my programmers to do the work.
Well, Mr. Abbott, I want to thank you for clarifying a few points. My biggest concern is because your cost was much lower than most made at the company, but you assure us that all the contractor you send out to do the work, it's U.S. based.
Yes, sir.
You know, as you know, usually the costs are a little bit lower because it's been contracted out to oversee.
Yes, sir.
And I had concern with that. And today you clearly clarify that concern that I have. So I want to thank our staff and you, Mr. Abbott, as a vendor. This question help us, make an informed decisions, and to ensure that we're taking the right step, for the adoption. So using technology, as my colleague says, it changes all the time. That it's very critical that we make sure that we ask all those questions, so we safeguard our city resource. Once again, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. With that, do we have a motion?
I made an amended motion earlier.
I second.
All right. We have a motion and a second.
Item number 6 passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Next is approve a project budget in the amount of $115,000 to close out the emergency Metropolitan Water District connection water main break repair project. Presentation by our senior civil engineer, Kai Noki.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. The item I'm going to be presenting on tonight is the Emergency Metropolitan Water District Connection Water Line and Roadway Repair. As a recap, back in December of 2024, our Metropolitan Water District connection line that runs from our MWD connection in Garden Grove down to here in Fountain Valley broke. There was a main break in the city of Westminster. Our staff immediately went to go verify that the break was on our line, and shortly thereafter, emergency PO was issued to the contractor, T.E. Roberts, to go stabilize the condition and do a temporary repair on the roadway. On May 5th, we came back to council, and City Council authorized the city manager to issue a contract not to exceed $600,000 to finish the roadway repair in the city of Westminster. However, due to coordination with the city of Westminster and their requirements, the roadway repair didn't finish until August of 2025 this year. It began in July, finished in August. We had originally budgeted for that project in the previous fiscal year with the anticipation that it would finish by the end of the fiscal year. However, since the work was completed in this fiscal year, we are coming to council and recommending that City Council approve a budget of $115,000 to close out the project. And I believe in the prior meeting, we also committed to coming back and stating the total project cost. So the total project cost for all the work was $264,955. That concludes my presentation, and I'm open to any questions.
Okay. Mr. City Clerk, any comment?
We have no request to speak.
Okay. All right. Any questions or comment from my colleague?
Yeah, just to clarify, so we originally thought it was going to be about 600,000.
Yeah,
and
that
the final numbers coming in at 264.
290. Yes, sorry, 264,955. Yep.
Okay, so that's good. It's good to be under budget.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right. Anybody else? Nope. Okay. Let's call for a motion.
Make a motion to approve item number 7.
All right. We have a second.
I'll second.
Go ahead. You beat me.
Item number 7 passes 5-0.
Thank you. Approve amendment number 12 to cooperative agreement number C5-3613 for an additional $2,039,000 between the Orange County Transportation Authority and the City of Fountain Valley. Presentations by our Deputy Public Work Director, Mr. Timo Galvez.
Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council, good evening, and thank you for the opportunity. The item before you tonight is amendment number 12 to a cooperative agreement between OCTA and the City of Fountain Valley, which has governed all things the I-405 project, including being an instrument to allow the city to negotiate reimbursement for staff time, consulting help, and mitigation measures as a result of the project. Amendment number 12 in particular is related to an additional $2 million, a little over $2 million, that OCTA has agreed to reimburse the city, and this is for impacts resulting from the 405, and these are impacts to city streets and also water line. And so this is as a result of a little over 2 years of negotiations with OCTA staff. This amendment also outlines an agreement that OCTA and the city will work towards completing the maintenance agreements, accepting the project when it's completed, and also a commitment by OCTA to complete all punch list items before the end of the year. Staff recommends that the City Council approve the amendment and receive the $2 million for the mitigation measures. That concludes my report.
All right, I open the floor for any comments. Any comment?
No request to speak.
Oh, all right. Councilmember Harper?
Thank you. So I had a question on these additional costs. Have they been spent yet, and we're just getting reimbursed, or there's additional costs that we need to do?
So yeah, both. So with regards to the pavement impacts, there are certain areas that were identified that have not been repaired. So that would be on the city's once the money's distributed.
What areas do you know? Off the top of your head?
All over. So some of the areas include the areas along Ellis. Some areas include the areas on Talbert between Bouchard and Brookhurst. Some areas are related to the scarring as a result of the different detour routes, and they're basically at the entrances of some of the bridges.
Oh, I got you.
Now,
Okay.
part of our negotiation included costs that we believed were in addition to about $600,000 that was initially given as a negotiation piece by OCTA at the beginning of the project back in 2016.
Yeah.
And we feel there were costs that really were incurred beyond that, which in our minds included the work we have done on Warner between Brookhurst and Bouchard and on Ellis between Brookhurst and Bouchard. So it's a mix. With regards to the water line, there's a water line that should have been included as part of the I-405 project on Mount Baldy. And so that became too complex given the time frame of the 405 project, so that it was agreed upon that the city would take that on. The city has since completed that water line work, and that project the bids came in much higher than the estimates we had 3-4 years ago when we negotiated that. So that project has been completed, and so a portion of that $2 million reflects the actual costs that were incurred.
Got it. Okay. Well, I just want to congratulate you on a really good job negotiating on these items to make sure the city's whole from the impact of the project. On the December 31 punch list, what are some of the big things left to do?
So at this point, there's areas that are cleanup around the Brookhurst Channel. There's some areas where we identified, and at this point, so I may be speaking not real time anymore because the OCTA has been doing a good job at working towards finishing the punch list items. But some of these items include that. There's water valves that we're working through. There at this point, the majority of the punch list items have been done. That's why we felt comfortable bringing this before you.
Got it.
There's an agreement with so OCTA has agreed to have their contractor finish that. Yep. The goal is December 31st, and if they finish the punch list items, then staff will be bringing back the maintenance agreements so that we can close that with OCTA and Caltrans.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else? All right, hearing none, do we have a motion?
Thank you, Temo, and I move item number 8.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Item number 8 passes 5-0.
Thank you. Next item is lease amendment to contract 11-50 and 06-02 with the Boys and Girls Club of Huntington Valley. Presentations by our only community service manager, Mr. Rob Frizzell.
Thank you so much, Mayor and council members. For your consideration tonight will be lease extensions of the two buildings, the child care, which is on Los Alamos, and the Clubhouse Academy, which was the former community center on Slater. It actually shares an address with us here. joining us tonight, should we have any questions, we have our team from the Boys and Girls Club. Thank you for sitting out the meeting, and also our Public Works Director, Scott Smith. So just briefly, it's one-year extensions to contracts 1150 and 0602 with the Boys and Girls Club of Huntington Valley. I did want to give just a little background on like the history of the leases that we've had here. The original lease for the Clubhouse Academy, the former community center, was July 17th, 2007. Art, correct me if I'm wrong on any of this, because I know you've been here the whole time. So, the original lease was from 2007. We did one-year lease extensions year to year from 2008 to 2014. We did identify at that time the need for some possible capital repair of both buildings, and we entered into a 5-year lease extension through December 31st, 2019. I'll talk about it a little bit more later, but really the purpose of the 5-year lease extension was to provide some opportunity for the Boys and Girls Club to provide or do some capital input to their facilities on structures that they may need, like HVAC and other things. Following that, we did a one-year lease, which really led us right into COVID. We did identify at that time there was a number of maintenance and rehab projects to upgrade those buildings. But as you all know, we met in closed session many times to work with the Boys and Girls Club, who were amazing during the pandemic to provide their services to so many in the community to make sure that the parents could go to work, because we do have so many hospitals where nurses and doctors work. And while a lot of the country was shut down, we did have a large majority of our community that did need to go to work, and the Boys and Girls Club fought extremely hard, so we really appreciated Art to maintain those services, a lot of the daycare and childcare, to our entire community. So we did have one-year leases following COVID. In 2024 was actually an 18-month lease because we ended one in June, so it went June through December of the following year, and then a one-year lease that leads up to here to today. It's a pretty similar story for the child care building, but that one, the original lease was in 2013, so about 7 years later for the child care facility. The fiscal analysis, as you saw in the staff report, so basically we have a 3% CPI increase cap on their lease rate every year. We use January 1st data to compile the previous year's CPI, and we'll update these amounts. These amounts will be slightly higher, a couple $100 higher, depending on that CPI increase, and we'll provide that lease rate to the Boys and Girls Club if the extension is approved. Briefly, just a little update on the Kingston branch. In December, you may recall, you approved an update and a site expansion of the Boys and Girls Club at the Fountain Valley Sports Park. We have ran into a few hurdles, nothing that we don't see a path through, but we have something called a Land Water Conservation Fund grant on the entire property of the Fountain Valley Sports Park. And there are grant restrictions due to that, and it's down below the second line there, that property acquired or developed with a LW, Land Water Conservation Fund, assistance shall be retained and used for public outdoor recreation. Any property so acquired or developed shall not be wholly or partly converted to other than public outdoor recreation uses. Good thing I have a staff report. Without approval of the National Park Services and the Land Water Conservation Fund Act. So basically, that grant is administered, or it's given out through the federal government. It's administered through the local states, so we have to work through the state to get approval. There is a public facilities request that you can submit to them, which has already been submitted. If it goes quickly, we hope it would be a couple months to get the state and federal approvals. The federal government's back open now. That was worrying us some on this. So hopefully, I know that the Boys and Girls Club had a mid to late summer timeline to start construction out there, which really is why they wanted a one-year lease at the Clubhouse Academy, so that they could wrap up that facility. We do potentially see some additional time, possibly, if we run into hiccups with the Land Water Conservation Fund grant. But we are working through it. Arts team's been really helpful to provide information that's needed for that grant. Ultimately, they want to enhance public outdoor recreation, and we're sharing how bringing all these kids after school and on the weekends to the Fountain Valley Sports Park. It's less than 1% of the entire park that would be converted, and that many more people would regularly attend. They do have outdoor recreation and playgrounds as well, and so we see it wholly benefiting the outdoor recreation at the Fountain Valley Sports Park, not being a detraction. So. With this, just a point of information, this has already been approved in the annual budget, but with this one-year lease extension, staff is prepared to replace the roofs on both buildings. The projected costs are below. For Clubhouse Academy, roof is $400,000, excluding the HVAC, and then child care, $500,000. Those are rough estimates. We're obviously going to go out to RFP, and that's, again, excluding HVAC. The Boys and Girls Club does have the desire to wholly move into the Kingston branch for their Clubhouse Academy. So any of those major HVAC or other improvements there would probably not be something that they would be looking at doing. But they do want to continue to use the child care building long into the future. So with the approval of one-year lease, when we go out, if you do so, when we go out to RFP, if the scope and services of that roofing project, if there's a way to tie in any capital improvements through the Boys and Girls Club, they've requested to come back and look at a 5-year lease extension so that they can make those capital investments with some understanding that they would have a long-term lease there. That's why we did the lease in 2014 for 5 years, and we wrote in specific clauses because we still had a right of termination. It's a city-owned building. That at certain parameters, if we canceled the lease after 2 years, they would get like $15,000 back. If you cancel it after 10 years or after 3 years, it would be $10,000 back. Some de-escalators on so that they wouldn't wholly be lost on the cost of their improvements. So it is something that we can consider if we come back and desire a 5-year lease to assist them in making capital investments. And so if there's any questions on that, I have the Public Works Director with me. And other than that, staff recommends the approval of the 2 lease amendments.
Okay, Rick, do you have any public comment requests?
I have no request to speak on this item.
Okay, so any questions or comments from my colleagues?
I have a question.
Okay, Councilmember Constantine?
So I'm in favor of the lease renewal, but the capital improvement on it, not so much.
Yeah,
It's part of it.
I understand that. The capital improvement project was passed as part of the budget, and with the lease extension, staff is planning to move forward with that project. If that's an item for future consideration the council would want us to look at, that would obviously be your direction. But at this time, we're planning to move forward with it.
And this is just for the lease, or is this both?
This is just the roofs have already been approved, but this is just for the lease.
Okay.
If possible, can I get Public Works Director Scott Smith to touch on the roof rehab for the public to understand?
Thank you, City Manager Lee and council members. Yeah, the roofs have been, according to staff testimony, I haven't been here this long, but over 20 years since they last been addressed. The roof on the Clubhouse Academy has actually been overlaid. This is a 3rd overlay. And so it's in a condition where you can't patch it. I think everybody's desire would be to minimize how much you spend on it. However, as a result of the condition of it right now and constant deferral over the past decades, or at least 1 decade, we're seeing a lot of wood rot on the decking, so to speak, on the roof, especially as you get to the perimeter edges. You have a situation where the water is because you got multiple layers, they're not tight, and the water can go transversely, so it gets under those initial seams, and you're seeing a lot of areas that are degrading. So, and that's for the Clubhouse Academy. When you look at the Child Care Center, just in the most recent rains, and the Boys and Girls Club representatives are here, they can speak to it. There's water coming in. They're having to put buckets out to collect the water. And in that case, that particular facility, there's no plans to relocate, and so it would seem prudent to go ahead and address those right now. And then if there's an agreement at some point in time to do the 5-year lease, then it sounds like there's support, or maybe support, for them to go ahead and do the HVAC units at that point in time. Before I end, going back to the Clubhouse Academy, one of the ways that we can reduce the amount, because originally, you may recall when I came to you, I said around $500,000 to do the Clubhouse Academy. Well, that included the replacement of the HVAC units. We can look at not replacing those. That'll save us approximately $100,000, and try to do the best we can, not have them damaged. You can't guarantee anything because they're old units. They're going to have to be moved. Move them back, and hopefully things go well, and so that can save us some money. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of real high overview of what needs to happen. But it's one of those things that it happens where you defer maintenance, and sometimes you get to the point where action needs to happen one way or the other, and that's kind of where we're at right now.
Okay. I'm good.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, I just have a little comment. First of all, thank you. And the questions I have is, how long would it take for the Boys and Girls Club to complete the building that they want to build, across from Mile Square Park, which is adjacent to the commercial, the plaza?
Sure, we're already in process with them right now on plan check, but I could ask Art to come up and join us and give us a timeline on actual construction.
Yeah, we think 9 to 12 months.
9 to 12 months?
Yeah, hopefully 9 months, but 12 months, on a long shot.
I hope you're doing great raising money, because I think you need $2 million plus, right?
Yeah, we need to raise about $5 million.
$5 million, I was way off.
Yeah.
Wow, $5 million.
We're going to renovate that old building too. That building's over 30 years old.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll renovate that as well.
Good.
I'm not as tall as Rob.
The only reason I ask is I just want to make sure that you're asking when the extension is adequate enough, right? So you have to come back and ask and no more time. If you think you need 2 years, might as well ask 2 years now, right? Rather than 1 year.
The lease does have a 30-day out, or a 30-day out on it, so 2 years would work as well.
It will work.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, with your direction, we'd be more than happy to do 18 months or 2 years.
Yeah, just give you adequate time, right? Rather than have to come back, because raising money is not easy these days, right?
It's not easy.
But Boys and Girls Club is doing amazing, phenomenal job. I don't think you have a problem, but just want to make sure you have enough cushion.
Yeah.
I'd like to explore a little bit further. Any possibility for you staying here? I'm just curious. Here's where I'm going with this. If raising money is challenging for you, for whatever reason is, and if we can entice you to stay at this building. And of course, there's some maintenance to be put forth here. And here, I think you project, $400,000 or $500,000. Get you to stay. We'll give you a 10-year lease, another 2 5-year options, and then you pay half of the cost to renovate, the safety aspect of it. Would you consider that?
Yeah, so I think Scott would probably be best on this topic, because that building itself needs a lot of improvements. We can't use the upstairs for kids because of the spacing on the steps. We have no elevator. So there's a lot of issues so we'd have to take what we've raised, put it into that. But I mean, even the electrical system, if we started touching that, probably turn the fountain off first because it's connected there, and a few other things. The difference between a Boys and Girls Club building, we have to go through the permit process. A city gets to build whatever they want to, whenever they want to. So when they built those buildings, there's a lot of cross lines and things. It's interesting.
Okay.
But it's not off the table. It's not off the table.
Oh, it's not on the table. Hold on, you may consider. Well,
Yeah.
I just want to throw it out there, just in case. You know what? Maybe we should take that consideration. We can't raise the money we need, right?
I appreciate it. We do annually safety inspections of our buildings, so we were just over there last week talking, and one of the board members brought that up. Hey, what if we just stayed here? And I was like, yeah, we would have loved to, but we weren't told we could.
Oh, well.
So it's one of those things too, right? So we've raised some money. We've spent over $300,000 already drawing up plans with architecture and fees. So you'd have to talk to those donors too. So it's not like that money would, people may not be as pleased with that. So there's some real issues.
Well, I guess at that time will come if you are able
Well,
to.
let's keep it on the table.
Yeah, keep it off
Yeah.
the table for the
Yeah, let's keep
options.
it on the table.
Okay, thank you. Other than that, anybody else? Any comments, suggestions? Nope. Just want to make a quick comment. I attend every year.
Yeah.
Your Boys and Girls Club gala at Huntington Beach. It's phenomenal every year.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Last year I won something. This year's like, I need it. I didn't get it.
I know some things went some pretty high prices, but thank you. And those kids that you saw performing, were the kids that were
Amazing.
performing right here at Clubhouse Academy. So
Kids, what a performance each year.
Yeah.
They really step it up.
yeah,
Once again, thank you.
Try to. You got it.
All right.
You guys.
Other than that,
Rob.
do we have emotions on the floor?
I'll move approval of the item.
I'll second.
I just had a thought. I forgot to add it on this item. And I want to see how it's going to be helpful for the Boys and Girls Club. I apologize, everyone. I forgot to bring this up. So, at a discussion with a philanthropist last year, particularly sometime December of last year, to be exact, actually. And the discussions was if we're not going to utilize this building because of the condition that is an apparel condition that it needs to be addressed for the safety of the Boys and Girls Club and their children. Is there an interest? So I was able to find a philanthropist that were interesting at donating their work art to the city in the, I don't know about now because it's been a while. It's in the upward of $10 million of artwork. And part of that as well is they were willing to put money to fix the building after the departure of the Boys and Girls Club. They're not going to do anything until the Boys and Girls Club do it. So they were going to relinquish those art to donate to one of the foundation in the city, as well as the money necessary to renovate the building. But I didn't get any attractions from the foundations. So the question here is, do we want to spend, what, $400,000, $500,000? Well, we have philanthropists who's willing to donate their artwork and money to fix that building. That is a question that I'd like to see my colleague to think about that. Although I know that today's agenda is totally different requests. But if we vote on this today, we're going to be spending that $400,000 or $500,000.
That's separate.
That's separate. Okay, I want
So
you-
this is just for the 1 year lease. This does not have, it doesn't have anything really to do with the roofs getting redone. The roofs have already been approved as part of this 1 year lease extension though. And with our capital projects, we were just notifying that we are moving forward with the RFP to go out for contractors for the roof.
RFP.
Mayor,
Yes.
Mayor Boo, are you proposing something like art for sale, where we would get
No.
sales tax revenue? Because the city needs revenue.
Yes, that's a possibility. What they're doing is they're doing exactly what Santa has been doing. There was a person's, first the cities took it on, the Bowen Museum, for those who are familiar with the history of that. At the beginning, it was a city, but it was not cost effective for the city to run. So in the end, they sent it out to a non-profit organizations to run it. The non-profit organizations maintain the building and pays the lease to the city on that building. And anything they sell, they generate a certain percentage to the city. So that's
This is something we could talk about in future considerations.
yeah, that's what I'm
Wanna
saying.
have
That's
it
why I didn't want to go
agendized.
too much in the weed. But thank you for clarifying that. If we approve today, it's not about the money that we put in it. And I just want to make sure Boys and Girls Club is crystal clear. They're not going to do anything until you depart. Just want to make sure clear. They always say that you could stay as long as you need. That's what they're saying. But they're willing to donate that money and the art to the city. I just want to put that out there.
Well, be careful. They said they would donate it to a nonprofit organization, not
That's
a
what I
city.
said.
Yeah.
Nonprofit. I
Careful.
I said nonprofit, and I didn't
You
get any
said to the
traction.
city.
So I didn't have any tractions. But hopefully, this will open other nonprofit organizations in the city to, consider if they want to be part of that, and then we'll work with the city.
Sure.
Okay, great. All right. So
Just waiting for you to vote. Your vote.
Yes. Sorry about that. Thank you. Thank you, Rob, for the clarification.
No problem.
Item number 9 passes 5-0.
Okay, next item is adopt a resolution amending fees for special events with mutual impact at Miles Square Regional Park. President, once again, the only community service manager, Mr. Rob Rizal.
Thank you so much, Mayor and council members. Glad to be back. In March 2025, Orange County Board of Supervisors voted to approve our wonderful 50-year lease extension of the Fountain Valley Sports Park within Miles Square Regional Park. In addition to the 50-year lease extension, the County of Orange generously donated or approved the transfer of 16 acres of new parkland to the city of Fountain Valley, the largest park donation in over 20 years in the city. And the previous one was from them as well, for fields 1 through 4, 5, 6, 7. In partnership with the County of Orange, staff presents for City Council consideration a resolution to amend the city fees for special events with mutual impacts at Miles Square Regional Park. Orange County and the OC Parks have worked collaboratively with the City of Fountain Valley for decades to enhance the quality of life for our community through the renowned Miles Square Park. The proposed amendment would eliminate any cost recovery and permitting fees for county-hosted special events within Miles Square Regional Park in an amount not to exceed $50,000 annually. The way we based that was typically the county hosts 2 to 3 large special events that have mutual impacts, and the cost average around $10,000 to $15,000, and so that $50,000 cap would cover the current amount of special events that are hosted there. And so quickly I'll read some of the parts of the resolution. The City of Fountain Valley will waive all special event permitting fees for the county-hosted special events held at Miles Square Park. Applicable permitting fees shall include Fountain Valley Fire Department permits, inspections, and on-site staff support of the event, Fountain Valley Public Works encroachment permits and associated inspections and staff support. That's for like the turn arrows and different things coming into the sports park. Fountain Valley Police Department staff in support of the event, which typically isn't large because the county side is under the jurisdiction of OC Sheriff, but our police department will provide services if necessary. And then Fountain Valley Community Services special events permits, we typically use the sports park if they have large special events as overflow parking to make sure their events go well. Number 2, the City of Fountain Valley will waive all special event permitting fees for county-hosted special events held at Miles Square Park in the amount not to exceed $50,000 for fiscal year June 1 through June 30th. So it'll be on the fiscal year calendar. And lastly, City of Fountain Valley will waive all special event permitting fees for county-hosted special events held at Miles Square Regional Park through fiscal year 2030-31. And so with that, I open it up for your discussion and your direction.
Okay, do you have any public comment?
We have 3 requests to speak.
Okay.
Andrea Martell.
Hello, thank you for the time to speak. So we've got these fees involved, and one of my questions is, how does this impact, like, you have things like our festivals and things that we do, and we charge them fees. So these county fees, is that going to be something where someone's going to raise an issue with charging fees to one person and not another for one event or another? What are these special events, if they could be defined? And then does the county have the right to put things on the calendar and have priority based on compared to what the city puts on it? So are we going to be in charge of scheduling the events in this park, or is the county going to be able to just plug up all our calendar, like in the prime time of the year in the summer? We have so many events that we have been regularly scheduling that are very well attended. So how would it impact that? And anyway, and the last thing was just to mostly define what is a county-hosted event. Is that something like these fun runs, or is this something where we bring a vendor in, or a community, thing like that? If it's a different type of an event, then that's a different category. So if we could clarify some of those points.
Okay, City Manager, would you please clarify those 3 points? Oh, okay. Rob, mic is yours.
Sorry, I totally apologize. That was a deficiency on my part in the presentation. So just to clarify, in the greater Mile Square Park, we have 78 acres currently of the Fountain Valley Sports Park. The remaining, I believe, 650 acres, don't check my math on that, but I believe it's 650 acres, is county-owned property. We lease our portion of the Fountain Valley Sports Park from the county through the quitclaim deed with the U.S. government. We have an agreement in place related to how special event operations are to work, what fees are required, what permits are required, but ultimately the county portion is not owned or operated by the city in any way, and that's basically, to think about it, it's David L. Baker Golf Course and it's Mile Square Regional Golf Course and everything to the east. The Fountain Valley Sports Park is located on Brookhurst and Heil, in between those two golf courses. We have the authority to operate through our MOU with the county any and all special events that we want to on our portion of the property. They can, in the same fashion, operate any and all events that they want to on their property. The fees really come into place related to jurisdictional responsibilities. Our portion of our park, where we do Summerfest and concerts in the park, the jurisdiction is the Fountain Valley Police Department, the Public Works Department, if Scott's still here, and our Fountain Valley Fire Department. So we do permit through all of our own agencies. They don't charge me any fees. It's nice, but that's because we're one city. But at the same time, the county has its own jurisdictional responsibilities. They have OC sheriffs. They have their own county public works. But the one thing that we do have is fire jurisdiction on their portion of the property. And so most of the fees would be associated with fire inspections, fire permits, and if there's any requirement for staff on site for those special events. Like I said, they have OC sheriffs, so we don't have a ton of police department response, but we do still have emergency response if needed.
And if I can add on that, for the clarification in regards to county-hosted events, so those are events outside of the Fountain Valley Sports Park, so it would be on the county side, and so these permit fee waiver will be waived when they have those events that require the city inspection services, mainly a fire department and so forth, with larger events. And then in regards to the city sports park, it would not impact us. We will continue to operate from a community standpoint. Should the county have events that the city doesn't have any events and activity, there is an opportunity for the county to request the city side for the usage of those space, but it shouldn't impact community services and the services that's being provided to the community. I hope that clarifies the questions.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
No worry. Thank you.
Next speaker, Julie.
She passed.
She what?
You're good? Okay. Katie?
Greetings again. Not that long ago, we had a year that was a banner year for festivals on the Brookhurst side. And I believe Troy of O Entertainment was right here and you were talking with him about incredible amount of damage caused by too many events in a short period of time, damaged the field so badly, there was a huge bill to be paid for that. It required special, I'm not a landscaper, I can't give you the terminology, it required special remediation to make the fields usable again. And I recall Troy being a private business person who paid his fees, paid nothing, as I understand, nothing was waived for him. He had to come up with some of the costs of the remediation of those fields because it was his event, you know, it was his baby, as memory serves. I don't have notes with me on that. However, that was contentious on both sides. He wasn't happy, we weren't happy. It was a wash. Nobody made money on the deal. 4 festivals, and it was basically a wash. I remember that, and I do not like anything that I read about this. There is no limit on the number of events that they can use or they can utilize. There's no limit. I saw that in the agenda. So you say, well, it could be up to $50,000 a year, no biggie. Well, over the course of that contract, it was 5 or 6 years. That's $250,000 right there. Why are we throwing away revenue that we deserve? Is this the Grinch that stole Christmas that's looking at this like little Cindy Lou Who, and there's some magical benefactor that's going to come and rescue our building? That there were contentious meetings about the disposition of that building just last year. And it's suddenly a topic that gets thrown in. Which council members are pushing for this? Which of you are in favor of this? I would like to know that. There must be somebody here that thinks it's a good idea. This is not something that staff has made a recommendation on. Normally, they have recommendation 1, recommendation 2, which one do you want to do, which do we recommend? They're not recommending this. There's none of that here. Which one of you is for this? Which one of you is promoting this? No answer, okay. I don't expect an answer. I know certain things about certain members of this council from personal experience, having gone through something similar to what they've gone through.
Katie, your time is up.
Thank you.
Okay, I'd like to give Rob the opportunity if you'd like to respond to, I think her first part, reference to the field, it's a little bit irrelevant because it's not had anything to do with our field.
Yeah, it would, the county side, their requirement of any maintenance or rehab would be completely the county's responsibility.
I don't think that's her point. Her point is that we didn't waive fees for one vendor. Now, for one, not vendor, but one.
Thank you. That's why we specified in there for county-hosted special events, because Troy is a private vendor, and when he brings the Crawfish Festival or Lobster Festival, or he has a barbecue festival, he does a lot of festivals around the Southern California. He's acting as a private business and bringing in a private business, and he may do, maybe barbecue festival goes over to the county side. But given that that's an O Entertainment event, that wouldn't fall under these applicable
I still don't
waivers.
think that's the point. The point is we're waiving fees for the county, and we're not waiving fees for somebody who's doing a festival on our side. I think that's more what the point is.
Well, I don't have a specific answer for that, other than if you can read in the staff report, it's related to the 50-year extension and the generosity of the 16 additional acres.
Okay, well, great. Thank you, Rob, for responding. And to your point, let's let the, we don't have any more public comment? Okay, now let's open.
No more requests.
Thank you. So now is the floor is yours. You could comment or say anything you like.
I was just explaining her comment. I don't think it was being answered.
Okay. All right. Kim, you
Yeah.
look like you have a lot to say.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
So for clarification, this agenda item is regarding county-hosted events on the nearly 700 acres of county mile-square parkland. The field condition and field remediation has nothing to do with this agenda item. It has nothing to do with the events that we host on our Brookhurst side or will host on the new land. I do have a question, actually. Has the new lease been signed? The lease that is a 50-year lease renewal, and also for the additional 78, altogether the 78 acres.
It has been signed, and there's two caveats to receiving that land, is that we have to finish our Parks Master Plan, and thank you for the shameless plug. The statistically valid survey will be released this week, so if you see it show up in your mail, please fill it out, send it back. Sorry to divest. No, we won't have any impacts related to that.
Okay, thank you. So, so applicable permitting fees shall include Fountain Valley Fire Department permits, inspections, and on-site staff support of the event, Fountain Valley Public Works encroachment permits and associated inspections and staff support, Fountain Valley Police Department staff support of the event, and Fountain Valley Community Service special event permits. So we're talking about the fire department, public works, the police department, our community services, and a lot of other city employees. And quite frankly, I value them all, as I'm sure, the rest of council does. But for me, this doesn't work out. It doesn't pencil out. And there's no, as a council member, me being here on council for 7 years now, I always make my decisions in the absolute best interest of the community. And I don't feel that this is that. And I don't feel that it adds to the goodwill of our employees. I know the employees are not going to be taking a hit financially. It's a city that's going to take a tremendous hit financially. And I don't see, quite frankly, how this can tie into that. And I think that's all I'm going to say.
Sorry, Councilmember Constantine, I only gave you one of the two caveats related to the lease extension. The second is that they have to finish their current development of the rehab that they're doing on their portion of the property,
Sure.
which is scheduled to be finished by the end of next year as well. And in case you haven't been out there to see it, they're doing some tremendous work out there. And I'm really proud of our playground we built, and we won great state awards and everything, and it's universally accessible. Theirs is not to the same fashion, but it's gigantic, and the county is doing some amazing work over there on their park rehab.
Sure. And at the same time, we are talking about not, Mr. Smith. We're talking the county of Orange. The county of Orange has a lot of money, a lot of our taxpayer money. And I don't see any real interest in doing it. There's no benefit here. I appreciate the extra acreage. I know we're going to use it well, but I can't forgive, nearly $200,000. It doesn't work out. Thank you.
All right. Anybody else would like to dive in? Vice Mayor Kinney?
Yeah, I'd like to speak onto this. Appreciate, Rob, the some of the explanation, but I think you used the word that really sums up the spirit of why we're doing this, and it's generosity. The way I look at it, the 16 acres was really a gift to us. If you look at the value of land, and you can pull out your phones right now and just ask AI, what is the value of Fountain Valley per acre? You can do that right now. It's going to say 1.6 million or so. So 1.6 million times 16 acres, that's on the order of $26 million. Okay, and so that's huge. I mean, that is something, as you mentioned, Rob, that doesn't happen. It's been 20 years since a gesture like that from the county. So I think for me, it's a way of recognizing the generosity from the county, doing something that's not going to break the bank. It's reasonable, and it's thoughtful. And I think, to me, it represents the spirit of generosity for the partnership that we have with our county. And so that's how I'm going into thinking about this and supporting this. Thank you.
Councilmember Grandis?
Yeah. So you mentioned that the lease is kind of lock solid. Is the 16 acres, is there any way that that potentially could go away, the additional acreage?
That would be more for our attorney to address, but outside of them, us completing our master plan and them completing their development, I don't see it.
I agree. There's been some murmurings that everybody could reopen the lease and we could have some legal wrangling about it, but our position under the lease looks pretty sound at this point. Nothing's ever guaranteed, but we're in a pretty good spot as far as the 16 acres goes. 16.4. 16.4.
Yeah, and Vice Mayor Kaneem brought up the fact $1.5 million, we're 16 acres. If you look at it, when I was mayor and staff was able to get, I think it was 14.4, and I know Mayor Bowie was able to get an additional 1.6 acres, and we're looking at the potential of losing revenue of $200,000 over 4 years, I think it is. I think you have to look at this in a business sense. And the business sense is the value we are going to get from the county, even though our attorney and you say that land's not at risk, that land's at risk until it's ours, in my opinion. It's always a risk. And the value of that is so tremendous. There's another factor too. I want you guys to think about our in lieu park fees between the Slater investment property, I'm just going to call it the Boomers property, and Heil and Euclid. I think it's somewhere we're going to get impact fees, 15, 16 million combined. I'm using round numbers. Am I in the ballpark?
Yes, correct.
So we're going to get 16 acres at no cost. And we're going to get about 16 million in impact fees that are going to allow us to do some tremendous things in that area. And I agree that the supervisor, carries a lot of weight over what we get in Fountain Valley. And it just makes sense to do this. You may not like it. I could see your points. But if you look at the big picture of this, we're going to benefit in the long run. The amount of funding that we get from Supervisor Wynn in the future, I think, will more than offset what this cost is. Are we playing nice? Yeah, we're playing nice. Let's call it what it is. We're playing nice. And, Supervisor Wynn, I know with the Boys and Girls Club, she was able to get, I think it's 8 new buses for them. I mean, she's able to get things done. So what's this expression? We wash your back, you wash our back kind of thing. And I think that's what a little bit, if we're being honest, that's what a little bit of this is. And it's not horrible. Again, we're going to get 16 million in impact fees. We're going to get 16 acres. Wait till you see what Rob comes up with for those 16 acres. It's going to be tremendous. So it's a little bit of an investment on our part. It's smart. You may not like it. You may think there's something behind it, but it's just smart. So I will support it.
Councilmember Harper?
Yeah, I'll jump in here. I agree with what Councilmember Grandis and Vice Mayor Kaneem have said. Also, just wanted to remind the public that the county has helped us a lot with our navigation center in Garden Grove. I believe they provide about $1 million a year towards the operating expenses, if I'm numbers correct, or
That's around ballpark, yeah.
yeah. So they help us in a number of ways. In addition to the 16 acres that we've expanded through the recent lease renewal, and so in the spirit of strengthening the partnership with them, I think this is a good thing to do.
All right, thank you so much. Well, I'm going to bring a different perspective. The way I look at it, this is an opportunity for the city of Fountain Valley to partner with the county of Orange in events that the county hosts in our community. The county and we host event as well, right? And the county hosts this free event to our community directly. Benefit from who? We, the resident, and other resident throughout the county benefit for whatever event they're hosting. Despite the disagreements and the fear mongering by some of my colleagues, on this council, I don't think that this action has no direct cost to the city, and will enable the city to be a little title sponsor at the event with the county, which are a free event to a resident. And I'm gonna go a little bit deeper reference to how is it not a direct cost to our city, because us ourselves, the city, we host summer event, we host Christmas concert that are free to our resident and everyone who wants to come to the event. So it's free in that sense. But the way we do it with the county, it's the same thing. It's free to the event. Staff time is used to organize this event, but we don't bill ourselves on those such event, right? And this is similar to with the county. Our staff will assist them with different plan and fire check as it is required. And so there's really no additional cost to the city beside our staff who are already on the clock and serving our community. Now, as the analogy on playing nice, I don't see it as an analogy as playing nice. I see it as a partnership and collaborations with the county. Whereas it is also true when we want that partnerships and collaboration with our congressperson when we try to ask that $5 million. Were we playing nice? No. Did they play nice? No. We want a strong, robust partnership with our elected official, whether they're a Congress, whether they're a senator, whether they're a state assembly. As a perfect example, we receive $1 million from a state assembly. Why? Because we want to continue that partnerships and collaborations among our elected officials that represent this district. It's not a question of playing nice. You could be playing nice. They don't have to do it. We just want to send a message that we do support you as a city, and we want the reciprocal support back from you as an elected official that represent District 1. That's my point.
Just to clarify, when I say playing nice, I don't mean that in a derogatory way in any way. It's working together and playing nice together.
Well,
I didn't mean it like we're, being
Okay.
in such a way of blackmailed or anything like that. That was not the intent.
Thank you for the clarifications. But when we speak on this dais, we have to see many angles. You might feel this way, but the person who interpret your expression, they might see a different way. So I just want to make sure that we have that clarification. I appreciate that you clarify that. Okay. So do we have a motions on the floor? That's what it is called, right? Let me look at my paperwork.
I'll move to approve the item.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay.
Item number 10 passes 4-1.
Thank you. All right. Item for future considerations. Do you have any? No? Okay, I do have one. My item for consideration is to obtain a legal opinion letter from an outside law firm. This is to ensure that the city and its elected officials are properly advised, protected from from potential liability, and aligned with all legal obligations after additional complaint letters related to the same meeting. Once the legal opinion is completed, we will convene a special meeting to review its finding. So, looking for a second?
Yeah, I'll second that, Mayor Bowie.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just, can I make a comment? I don't think we need a special meeting for this. Perhaps there's a a better way to, I guess, handle the legal opinion? Maybe, I guess I'd ask our city attorney what your thoughts are on that.
There probably is a better way to handle the legal opinion, so what we can do is, let me figure out a better way to handle the legal opinion, and if that's not satisfactory, then we can have another motion at that time to set an actual meeting. But we'll go forward with the legal opinion based on the first and the second.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Do we have an idea of what this is going to cost?
Don't look at me, I'm not an attorney. I'm not billing you.
Yeah, depending on how much the issues evolve, because issues can change over time. You get new facts, less facts. Facts turn out to be different. Typically, a legal opinion on something if there's a few questions, 10 hours per question, you might be looking at about 50 hours.
50 hours. At how much per hour? 200 an hour, or what do we?
Outside counsel is $350 an hour for things like that.
350 times 200 hours. How about we all be grown-ups and we decide to do this internal first and try to see if we can resolve it ourselves, and if we can, great, and then if we can't, then we get somebody else to referee.
On reference to my colleague is saying, I would like Attorney David King, who is in the room, respond to that. I believe there may be some issue if we are trying to resolve this internally.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, David King with Hensley Law Group, the outside counsel that was mentioned by the city attorney. I would mention that I don't think it's going to take us that long to get an opinion to you. The other thing that I would say is that we're here because your policy regarding harassment suggests that Labor Council would bring in an outside counsel to investigate any violations of that policy. So that's why we're here.
I'm sorry, Attorney King, for clarification, you say harassment. Is it harassment or, because when we read, it was not harassment.
Well, I referred to it, Mr. Mayor. It's the City Council policy against harassment, discrimination, or retaliation by elected
Okay,
appointees.
it says quite a few things, not just
Correct.
harassment.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you for the clarification.
All right.
That policy suggests that when there's a violation by any elected official within the city, that, and I can look at it, and I can cite to it directly, a recommendation for an outside neutral and independent attorney investigator and engage in services of that attorney to investigate the complaint. So that's why we're here.
So that's the policy.
Correct. It's up to the city council if they want to follow the policy, but the policy suggests that independent counsel would evaluate the matter. And again, I don't think it's going to take us that long.
How long do you think it'll take you?
I would estimate 20, 25 hours.
So $7,000 to $10,000.
I think no more than, something like that.
So I have a question, if I may.
Go ahead.
So just for clarification, you're going to look at the recent November 4th meeting, the couple of incidents that transpired, and you're going to gather all the information and speak with us, and then form a legal opinion, basically, of what transpired, to even maybe what transpired prior to that, which could be a bigger picture, not just the picture that, we're talking about. So then it would be, the opinion would be whether or not a council member was in some type of violation. This could be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in favor. Thank you.
Okay.
I would also add, Mr. Mayor, members of the council, our firm represents other public agencies, so we're very cost conscious. So we will keep it to a minimum, and we're not here to rack up the bills, if you will. We're here to get you an answer as quickly and as expeditiously as possible and as fairly and independently as possible. So I just want to commit that to you. Our firm only represents public agencies, so we're very mindful of this is public dollars that are being spent here, and so I just commit that to you.
Could you answer, what are the end results that you're looking potentially to, what end results can your findings, what happens?
Can I interject here real quick? Because now you dive into those specific, and what are the implications?
Yeah, and I'll also state that his firm was just recently engaged, and this is a very, very new situation that has unfolded a bit over the past week. So in defense of Mr. King, he hasn't had a whole lot of time to soak in all the factual investigations to give you an opinion of what exactly he's looking at, and or an opinion of what it will actually take to go through what some of the complaints were. And I will say complaint, that's what triggers it, a complaint. No finding that anything actually happened. It's just you get a complaint, and we have a policy from 2007. So that's where we're at, and we're trying to figure out if there's anything that needs to move forward. It sounds like with a motion in a second, there's at least some investigation to move forward to take a look at from an outside attorney and figure out, does anything need to be done here at all? And with that in mind, I don't know that, and I don't mean to speak for you, I don't know that if I was in your shoes, I would have a difficult time coming up to what my conclusion or my recommendations would be, given the fact that you haven't had much time to soak in.
I didn't ask for a conclusion. I asked what are the types of conclusions that can be gathered out of this, that's all. It's fine. I'm in support of this too. I think it's a good idea. Clearly, we're not we have a policy, and if we have a policy, we should follow the policy. So I'm okay with that.
Okay. There you have it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
I just want to be clear, though, we're not doing a special meeting next week, like you said earlier.
That's my understanding.
That's what Mr. Attorney Collins
Yeah, it's
said.
Thanksgiving, so I'm pretty sure that would be a bad week anyway.
Okay. All right. Mr. City Clerk, do we have any requests to speak on unscheduled matter only?
We have 2 requests to speak. First is Evan Jorgensen.
Good evening, City Council. Last meeting, the City Council directed staff to come up with a charter. As discussed in all the meetings in the presentation that we saw, there was a time period for you to solicit input from either an ad hoc committee or an advisory group. And that was supposed to be started in September and ending in January. I'd like to know if there has been any formation of those groups, and to let you know that I'm available to be on either. And next, he just agreed to raise the rent on the Boys and Girls Club of Huntington Valley. I think it's time you look at the transient occupancy tax on hotels and raise the tax there. That is not a tax on the citizens of Fountain Valley, but it's a tax on the visitors to Fountain Valley. And I'd like to thank Kim for clarifying what that last discussion was about. Thank you.
Andrea?
I just paying attention to national politics, and one thought as we were discussing the Boys and Girls Club and all that, and how that helps people go to work with the daycare that's provided and stuff. This big issue with the Medicaid right now, if that gets dumped by the feds, it'll affect benefits to people in California. And I know that there are communities that have senior daycare for people who have to work, who have someone who needs to be monitored during the day, but they're not ill, they don't need a doctor, they don't need to be in a home. And so just for future thought, in case that Medicaid goes down, if the city could consider if there's any possibility of having something like that in the city for the people who are working, because it would impact a lot of people. You know, some people are just starting to get a little Alzheimer's or something. They don't need a doctor. They just need somewhere to be during the day so their folks can work. Anyways, just for your consideration.
I have no further requests to speak.
All right, thank you, Mr. City Clerk. I'd like to call on my Vice Mayor Jim Canine. Would you please give your report for Housing Authority AB 123?
Thank you, Mayor. My activities since our last meeting included the following. On November 7th, I attended the annual Kazuo Masuda Middle School Veterans Day ceremony. I'm especially grateful to the guest speaker and veteran Robert McDonald, who educated us about his family's history with the Buffalo Soldiers. This is always an educational and moving ceremony that our Fountain Valley School District and this year Principal Dr. Ham does so nicely for students in our community. On November 8th, I attended with my wife Mimi the Miss Fountain Valley 2006 scholarship competition. Wow, those 11 women were all so talented and dedicated to excellence in their performance. Congratulations to our new Miss Fountain Valley teen, Samantha Nickert, and our new Miss Fountain Valley, Maya Lessinger. We are excited to collaborate with you throughout our city events in the coming year. On November 10th, I participated in our inaugural Sister City Advisory Committee meeting representing our city council. Our agenda included welcome introductions to the group, background and consideration of the benefits of having a sister city in Japan, a recap of our recent Osaka trip to the Sister City Summit, and local city interactions, the role of nonprofits and local businesses, plus our next steps. On November 11th, I joined our city council, staff, and community in the annual Veterans Day ceremony held at our beloved Veterans Park next to the library. I am very grateful to our guest speaker, retired Commanding Sergeant, U.S. Air Force Doug Zimmer, for his words of encouragement and respect for the brave veterans in attendance. I'm also very grateful for the dedication and service of the members of the Veterans of Foreign Wars, VFW Post 9557, especially Master of Ceremonies, Richard Sundell. Lastly, on November 12th, I attended with all my council colleagues at the Fountain Valley Chamber of Commerce OC Connect Breakfast, where our fabulous city manager, Maggie Lee, gave an excellent and comprehensive update of all things happening in our very busy community. And very lastly, I just want to wish everyone an amazing Thanksgiving with your family. And that concludes my comments, Mayor Billy.
Thank you so much, Vice Mayor. Councilmember Harper, would you please give your report?
Thank you. On November 5th, attended the opening for Qua Restaurant. It's a new place, new restaurant in town from K Concepts, QUA. It's in the old Frogs Bounce House on Brookhurst and Ettinger. It's huge inside. Great place to go. So you need a big place for meeting. That's a good place to go. Good food too. On November 7th, attended the CalCog board meeting talking about transportation initiatives for next year. On November 8th, the Miss Fountain Valley event, great event, and thanks and congratulations to the winners and all the participants and volunteers. It's a great event. November 11th, the Veterans Day event at Veterans Park, and November 12th, OC Connect breakfast with speaker, our city manager, Maggie Lee. That concludes my report.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Harbour. Councilmember Grandis.
Yes, on Saturday, November 8th, the Miss Fountain Valley Scholarship. I could say I'm very excited that Maya Lessinger is going to be our Miss Fountain Valley. I think future Mayor Canine is going to have a great Miss Fountain Valley to work with all year. I think you're really going to enjoy that. She's a wonderful young lady. On Monday, November 10th, OCPA Board of Directors meeting. On Tuesday, November 11th, the Veterans Day ceremony that you guys already mentioned. Wednesday, November 12th, the Fountain Valley Chamber OC Connect with our very own city manager, Maggie Lee, who did an awesome job. Later that day, I attended the OC Sanitation District Admin meeting, where I'm the vice chair of that committee. On Thursday, November 13th, attended the volunteer event for setting up the poker tournament, and I want to thank the volunteers who showed up that night to help. And then on Saturday, November 15th, attended the Hyundai turkey giveaway. They said, what was it, 750 or so turkeys. I also want to thank our PD and fire for being out there in the rain and helping with this. I mean, it wasn't raining, it was pouring out. And they were out there helping everybody. It was a great event. I said this earlier, I'm going to say it again. Thank you to my beautiful wife for cooking 2 of those turkeys for Robin's Nest, which is a organization that helps homeless in our homeless high school students in our local school district. You may not realize how many homeless kids there are that attend Fountain Valley and all of the Huntington Beach Unified School District. So thank you for that, honey. And later that night, we had the charity poker, Fountain Valley Community Foundation Charity Poker Tournament. I want to thank Councilman Patrick Harper for participating. How'd you do?
I lost, but it's okay. It was for a good cause, so I didn't want to. Yeah, it was fun. I had a good time.
Yeah, there you go. So, one thing I want to say about the tournament, we really had to scramble. On Tuesday night, we had 35 people signed up. On Thursday night, we had 65 people signed up. So we set up for 105, thinking, well, we'll get some walk-ups. We ended up with 130. So all the volunteers who had to scramble the last minute to help put this together, we're going to raise not quite $20,000 that night. And again, this is the 22nd year I've been directing this tournament twice a year. And we're right around raising $800,000 for our local nonprofit. So something I am very proud of, and something, I know, Evan, you were there. You didn't win either, Evan, did you?
Yeah, but I lasted longer than that.
For those who couldn't hear that at home, he said he lasted longer than Councilman Harper, though. Yeah, so Kristen's here too, and my wife, who are volunteers that night. So thank you guys. We can't do it with our great without our great FV, fantastic volunteers. And then on Sunday, November 16th, along with the mayor, I met with the Currents HOA at the old Myola school site. There were definitely some misunderstandings at the last meeting that they came back and with a little bit of explanation and a little bit of understanding of what was intended and what was meant. They retracted their letter and stated that they did not have, an issue moving forward. So that was very nice of them. And I have to say, the food there was phenomenal. This group of 78 new homes or so, they could not be more welcoming. The people were so nice. The food was so great. And they all have lots of little kids and watch after each other. So I think the Currents is a pretty cool place, and it's just across the street from where I live, so I'm going to go enjoy their park a little bit more often now. And with that, that's my report, and I want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. Oh, and I want to thank the mayor for this last year. This is his last meeting as mayor, so thank you for being the mayor this last year, and I want to most likely, I guess, may change, but welcome and wish good luck to our hopefully incoming mayor, Jim Canine.
Okay, Councilmember Constantine.
Sure. So just want to highlight 2 events. The one was mentioned a couple times already, the charitable turkey giveaway by Hyundai this past Saturday the 15th. Police and fire were there in the rain, and great support. And then today was the Thanksgiving luncheon for senior citizens at Founders Village. Lots of fun, very well attended. And have a happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
All right. My report is on November 5th. I attend the Quad Contemporary Chinese soft opening with my colleague, council member, and staff. On November 6th, I attend a joint well agreement signing ceremony in Newport Beach. They compile of 3 cities, which is Newport Beach and Laguna Hills, I believe. Newgale. Laguna Beach, I'm sorry. Yeah, Laguna Beach. That's right. Later on, I attend Champion OC Global Event Committee. And the same day as well, I attend OC Park meeting. And on November 7, I attend Masuda Veterans Day ceremony with my colleague, Vice Mayor Jim Canine. Whoa, what a wonderful innovations presentation by the student, how they recognize our veterans, with each one carry a different message. So it was really wonderful to see them doing that performance. On November 8th, I attended Miss Fountain Valley event at now renamed. It used to be called Saigon Grand Center. Now it's called Sapphire Center. On November 11th, I attend Veterans Day ceremony with many of our colleagues here and staff. And on November 12th, I attend the Chamber's OC Connect. Our city manager, Maggie Lee, did an outstanding presentations. Early in the morning, before coming over, I attend actually the State of the City, HB. And they have some interesting, for their city. We all can learn from it. On October 13, I attend Orange County City Council Chamber, City Selection Committee, attend the Old World Network at night organized by the Fountain Valley Chamber of Commerce. And on November 15, I plan to attend Zepfire Motorsport grand opening, but due to the rain, it got canceled. So I look forward to their grand opening if they were planning to have a grand prix at the later date. Other than that, wishing everyone a happy Thanksgiving and a safe one if you are traveling. The next regular meeting, the Fountain Valley City Council, is Tuesday, December 2nd at 6 p.m. in these chambers. Once again, thank you for being here, and good night.